Welcome to another edition of Explore election coverage, and I am pleased to have with me today another gentleman that is running for Circuit Court Judge in District 25, and it is Cody Pancake. Cody,
Hey,
how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Good to see you, JR.
First time to meet you. I appreciate you coming down.
And I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, it's great. So what I like to do is kind of start off and introduce our viewers to yourself. They might not know you, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, currently live in Headsville, over in Mineral County area on the other side of Burlington. And I'm married to my beautiful wife, Sherry. We've been married 32 years. Last week was our 32nd wedding anniversary.
Well, happy anniversary,
and
belated.
That says a lot these days. And we have 3 wonderful children, 2 boys and a girl, 2 lovely daughter-in-laws, 2 grandchildren, another grandchild due in September. I'm currently the prosecuting attorney of Mineral County. I've served 2 terms as the elected prosecuting attorney for Mineral County. I've served in the prosecutor's office for going on 16 years now in Mineral County in the prosecutor's office, and 33 years overall legal experience. Practicing in Grant and Mineral counties. Grew up in Central Virginia. My dad is a Mineral County native. He was in the Korean War. He's a combat wounded veteran, Purple Heart recipient, and after his stay in Korea and getting shot in Korea, he settled in Central Virginia, started working for the U.S. government, met my mother. That's where I grew up. I've been now back in West Virginia for 35 years, and Mom and Dad are up here, so I can keep a watch on them. My dad is 97 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, doing pretty good for his age. Some problems, but
At 97?
he is my hero. Purple Heart recipient. So,
awesome.
And,
well, we thank him for his service.
Yeah, and I appreciate everything that the veterans do. I have a lot of respect for veterans. I work daily with law enforcement, state police, DNR, Mineral County Sheriff's Department, City of Kaiser Police Department. I've worked with numerous DNR officers from Grant County. I've worked with state troopers from Grant County, not so much with the Mineral County or Grant County Sheriff's Department. I have worked with a couple of them on a few different things, but not a lot, but mostly with some of the troopers from Grant County and West Virginia Department of Natural Resources. Their officers from here do a lot of work in Mineral County, so I do a lot of time, a lot of cases with them that they'll be assigned or doing investigations in Mineral County, so I have a chance to work with them. So I get to know a lot of different law enforcement officers in different counties, most particularly Grant and Mineral County, although we have numerous officers coming over from Hampshire County as well. The Drug Task Force, Hampshire, Grant, Mineral counties all working together on drug investigations as well. So that's a little bit kind of daily so what I do.
What got you started in law? Like, what brought that about?
That's a great question. I graduated from college and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was working on construction jobs, had a couple jobs in some computer work, although I'm not a computer specialist by any means. And I just decided, I want to go back to school and decided to go to law school. I wanted to go to WVU, so ended up going to Morgantown, got my Juris Doctorate degree from West Virginia University, and have been in West Virginia ever since.
Nice. Yeah. So what brought about the run then? Because I guess I should have known this, but it's a good thing about doing these podcasts. You learn things. So you have to run an election for prosecutor? Is that how that works?
It's just, the chief prosecutor for each county is an elected position, just like circuit court judge or board of education member, as we were talking. They're all elected positions. They're not appointments. They're elected. And with prosecuting attorneys, it's a 4-year term. And so I've served the past 2 terms in Mineral County as the elected prosecutor. And, down here you have John Ayers. He's your elected prosecutor. And John and I talk, frequently on the phone about we have cases going back and forth. You'll have individuals. That's the funny thing with being in my line of work, working more, on the prosecutorial side, working with law enforcement, working with investigations. We'll have individuals that may get charged here in Grant County, may also get charged in Mineral County, Hampshire County, all over, back and forth. And you've got to be in touch with the different prosecutors from the different counties. And I've worked with all of the prosecutors in the surrounding counties for 33 years, off and on in different, roles. And I started out, as a young kid out of law school. You start out working with other individuals. I've done, private, criminal defense work. I've done public service commission work. I've done a lot of workers' comp work over the years, domestic relations, civil law, property law. So there's been a lot of different areas that I've worked in, but primarily the last 16 years has been in the prosecutor's office.
So for the people out there that watch all these courtroom dramas, what's it actually like to be a prosecutor?
Well, I really like my role. I really like what I do, and I love the guys that I work with. I really feel like it's important, and you're making a difference to protect the citizens of the county in enforcing the law and prosecuting individuals that have, violated the law. And don't get me wrong, some people make mistakes like the DUI. People get in trouble. And I understand that, and I can work with that, and I have sympathy for people but the individuals where you got drug offenses, this year I just finished a murder case in January that we have been working on for 4 years.
Wow, so there's a lot of time and effort that goes into these cases.
A lot of time behind the scenes, investigation, that people don't realize. There were 3 individuals involved in that murder case. We finally got the 3rd individual, the last one, and brought him to trial in January of this year and got a 2nd-degree murder conviction on him. I just finished a sexual assault trial last week, an individual. I hate to say it, but I don't pick the facts. I don't pick the cases that I deal with. It was a 56-year-old male and had a sexual contact with his 6-year-old natural granddaughter. Oh. And, it's bad stuff, but I appreciate, what I do. And I know the sheriff's department, working with them closely. It's sometimes a thankless job, but somebody's got to do it. Step up to the plate, take responsibility. It is a lot of work. It's very trying. It's very stressful.
So a question, just so there's clarity. You say you don't pick your cases. Now, do you mean that from you never know what crime is going to be committed?
Exactly.
Or you only can see certain cases?
No. That's a good question, and I should have clarified that, and I apologize. You have no control over what's going to happen. Okay. That's what I meant. And, right now, we have them. Every community is basically the same, but they're a little bit different. In Mineral County, we have a very large caseload, but we're right there on the Maryland border. So we get a lot of stuff coming in from Maryland into Ridgely, into the northern end of Mineral County, back and forth, drug crimes, sexual assaults, that kind of stuff. We probably end up having, you'll have transportation of drugs from our drugs in Mineral County are coming from the Baltimore area, they're coming from the Pittsburgh area, and they're primarily coming in from the Cumberland area into the northern end of the county. Then they make their way down this way and, of course, to Grant County. So Grant County has certain issues that the Drug Task Force concentrates on here that may be a little bit different than in Mineral County, but overall, same officers, same investigators, some of the same people, but it's just some of the things that happen here may be with respect to a separate area of West Virginia. It's coming from a different locality than where ours is coming from in Mineral County.
Gotcha. So what do you think is going to be, if you were elected, the biggest change from being prosecutor to now having to be judge?
Well, honestly, I don't think it's going to be that big of a change. I've been doing this for 33 years. And thinking about it, I started out practicing in front of Andrew in Fry. I don't know how many people know Judge Andrew and remember Andrew and Judge Reeves Taylor up on our end from Mineral County, and working so long and working in the prosecutor's office and knowing different types of cases. I'm in the courtroom daily. I just don't see that big of a change. I really don't. I mean, I know our circuit court judges. I've known them for 33 years, all the different ones that we've had. I've served in a quasi-judicial role previously. I was mental hygiene commissioner. I'm not going to really talk about that. That's kind of an abstract area of the law, but I even served as mental hygiene commissioner for the 21st Judicial Circuit for 2 years, and that's currently, you said 25th, we are currently the 21st Judicial Circuit of West Virginia, which is Mineral, Grant, and Tucker counties. And I wish we were going to stay the 21st.
We just kind of lopped off Tucker County and changed.
For some reason, the higher-ups in Charleston decided to take Tucker County away from us. Tucker is going to go with Preston County. Mineral and Grant will stay together as its own circuit, but we're not going to be the 21st anymore. We're going to be the 25th. Don't know why, but I have my opinions that I think we should have stayed to 21st, because I think from a judicial standpoint, all of your case law decisions in changing horses in the middle of a stream, so to speak, I don't think it's going to create a lot of problems, but there's going to be inconsistencies when you go back and look at things that occurred in the 21st and now it's the 25th. I just don't see any need to change it. Really don't. Okay. And it didn't. Frankly, it didn't need to be changed, but that's a decision out of Charleston, not for us up here.
Yeah,
I'm pretty outspoken about certain things, and frankly, I think it should have stayed to 21st. And if they wanted to take Tucker away, that was fine, and put Tucker with Preston and make it the 19th. What they're trying to do is get 2 circuit court judges for each circuit. Okay. That's what they're trying to do across the state. Get some uniformity from a judicial aspect, so you'll have 2 circuit court judges for each circuit. And that makes sense. I don't have a problem with that. I just don't know why you need to change circuit court numbers.
So are they trying to just have 2 counties be in each circuit, or the bigger counties are?
Well, Randolph County was a circuit in and of itself, and I don't know. I think they're still going to stay a 1 county circuit, but they're going to have 2 judges now. Okay. So you're going to have 2 positions down there. There may be, I can't say, down in the southern part of the state or other parts of the state, they may maintain 3 counties. Some of the smaller counties may stay a 3 county circuit. I don't know. Okay. I know up here we're going to go, Grant and Mineral will stay, be 2 now instead of 3 with Tucker.
I always find that stuff interesting, the decision making behind it, and that's just really interesting to me. So, another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to be a judge?
Well, I'll tell you, that's an excellent question. It's not that I want to be a judge that I've had some lifelong aspirations for that. It's not. I just turned 60 in February, and I honestly believe the older you get in your life with your experiences, family experiences, community experiences, experiences of what you do, working with law enforcement or whatever it may be, the different types of law that you've been involved with over the years, watching cases in and out of court on a daily basis over a 33-year period. I think it becomes a time in your life that you have to make some decisions that not necessarily what I want is what I believe is right for the community. And I believe at this point in my life it's appropriate to have an individual. That's why I'm running. If I didn't think that I was the most qualified and experienced candidate for this position, I wouldn't be running. But in all honesty, I believe that the citizens of Grant and Mineral counties deserve a say in who they want as their circuit court judge and not a decision out of Charleston.
Okay, and I believe that the Mineral County judge is set. Is that right? And so you would be serving in Grant County, even though it's
no, it's okay. Both. It's both counties.
It's both counties.
It's.
But you
go back and forth?
Oh, you do go back.
Yeah,
and
both
forth.
judges.
Oh, okay.
Both judges are in Grant and Mineral County. Several days a month.
Okay.
So it's not just one judge for one county. I'm glad you pointed that out because a lot of people may think, well, it'd just be Grant, Grant County or that is not the way it works.
Because we already have one for this district, correct?
Well, it's a circuit. You have two circuit court
that's
judges.
What I meant. Sorry.
Yeah,
we have one that's already. So,
right.
Okay.
So you have two circuit court judges right now.
I like learning this stuff. Your impassioned plea now. Why should I vote for Cody Pancake for Circuit Court Judge 25 of the 25th District coming up?
Well, as I said, I'm the oldest candidate. I don't think I'm personally that old. I'm 60 years old. I feel really good. Exercise, a lot. I'm very active. But to say this, I will say this. I am the only candidate with 33 years legal experience, the only candidate with 16 years prosecutorial experience, the only candidate that's got 2 terms in as chief prosecuting attorney. I don't believe any other candidate for the judicial election in this case or in this election has any prosecutorial experience, and that includes prosecuting cases and working on a daily basis with law enforcement and investigations. And that's not to say, I don't want people to get the wrong idea that it's all based on law enforcement or investigations or prosecution. That's not the issue. The issue is I do have a lot of experience that the other candidates, with all due respect, don't have, but nevertheless, you still have to be fair and impartial in your decision making, and I believe I do that on a daily basis through the prosecutor's office as well. I decide what cases or what charges that need to be filed on any particular case. You have to go through and evaluate that, and you have to be fair in evaluating that before you even make charges. And when I'm saying making charges, I'm talking about before a grand jury, all felony. I'm primarily doing all the felony cases in Mineral County. So once they're arrested and charged, it starts out in magistrate court. Then it comes over, the cases are bound over to circuit court. And then at that point, you have 3 terms a year for grand jury, and all felony cases in West Virginia have to be presented to the grand jury for an indictment before you can proceed forward in the prosecution of an individual, unless you do it by means of an information, which is another legal proceeding, but I won't get into that. It's not really necessary. But primarily, all felony cases in West Virginia are going to start out with a grand jury indictment.
Okay. I didn't know that. all the whole legal, everything behind it, the legal system, I find very interesting, and I like to learn stuff about it. So, being a judge carries an extra, I would think, an extra burden, because obviously you're putting someone's life in your hands. I mean, I know what they did. They put their decision making, but what do you think would be the hard part about that? Like, what do you think is going to be the hardest part about being a judge?
Well, I think when you served as prosecuting attorney, you've already accomplished a lot of that. You know, I prosecute people, and a lot of people go to prison for things that they do. And I think serving in that role helps foster you or develop you as an individual to make certain judicial decisions. And, you know, you have to be fair, you have to maintain impartiality, but you have to be, like I say, the older you get, the more patient you become, the more informed you become about things. And I think the older you are, you're just a better individual for making those types of decisions.
What do you think? How do I put this? So, knowing the law, as a judge, I guess you need to know what's allowed, what's not allowed. What do you think behind that? How do you think that'll go?
Well, you know, I'll tell you this right now. A lot of people go, every judge that's been on the bench still has to refer to the law. They have to look at the codes. They have law clerks to assist them in, you know, research, making decisions. The general day-to-day law is what you've dealt with for 33 years. You might get into a certain issue regarding a sentencing issue or a procedural issue like that you need to do some research or have. It's very common that judges will have the attorneys, you know, brief an issue for the court, for the judge to make a decision. It's not just going in there that the judge knows everything and makes it. It doesn't happen that way. There's a lot of, you know, research behind the scenes that goes in that they do have their law clerks to assist them. So it's not all, you know, right from the bench that they know everything. And that's just typical with every judge. It's commonplace.
Okay. Well, I really do appreciate you coming and talking to us. I've enjoyed it. Like learning. That's always nice. Yeah. Hopefully these podcasts are informative as well. Yeah. You learn something.
It does, yeah. I'd be happy to do it, and I appreciate you letting me come down.
No, thank you. Anytime. Remember, you've heard, you're going to be hearing pretty much everyone that's running for judge, no secret. So when you go to vote right now, we talked to Cody Pancake. That's Circuit 25 for judge. And we hope everyone enjoyed this. This is JR signing off. Explore. Thank you very much. Election coverage.